Your thumbnail is essentially your first impression. Before somebody even watches your videos, that's the first thing they see. That you can give people an opportunity. But if they really don't see it as an opportunity, if they don't have that urgency, they're really not going to do much with it. You understand? That stops a lot of South Africans for starting online businesses is, does this market or does this thing work inside my country? And then when they figure out that it doesn't, or when they just Google it and then they see no, then they just give up. Right? If you really want it enough, if you do the research, you're going to find it. If you're earning on YouTube, you want to make sure that you drive as much traffic from the platforms that you are monetizing on and drive them towards the platform that you are monetizing on, which is YouTube, and then you convert the views there. You don't want to over bombard your audience with a lot of content, because then they get used to your content, then they don't want to watch your content. Make sure that the idea that you have is a great idea and people want this, right? You need to make sure that the niche that you're in is validated and it's in demand. People are actively searching for this.
You make it sound so simple.
It is simple. Once you understand this thing, like, bro, it's so fun. Like, once you understand how this thing works, it's like it's a game. You just need to make sure that.
Welcome to another edition of Mindset Profits. This is a special one for anyone who wants to do content and make a living from content. For anyone who says, actually, for those of my people who say, I'm starting over and I don't know what to do. Like, while you've got time on your hands, as a young man that's blasting the internet and making some serious money online, and keyword being young man. Boikarabelo, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
You look much younger in person.
Yeah, I was like, how old do I look on camera? I'm very now I'm very scared now. How old do I look?
Okay, now I've heard, so I guess there's a bias. You're 21 now.
Yes, I'm 21 now.
The first clip I saw of you was a clip that says you're making in the range of like $10,000 a month on YouTube.
Yes.
Yes, ne? Talk to me about, I think, a good place to start, because I want to see if there are people that can listen to what you teach and implement this to change their lives. Does content work for someone who's older? Do you think this can be something that someone who is in their 30s, 40s can start and make that kind of money that you make? And we'll break down later how you do it.
Most definitely. I don't think there's an age range where you can say nobody can do what I do. Essentially, if we're talking about YouTube automation, which is exactly what I do, where you run faceless content, you post it across TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and I recently figured out that now you can also post on Snapchat, and a lot of people make money from that as well. So I'm trying to teach my students that as well. I'm trying to get into it now. You can start it at any age. You know, that's essentially why I started in the beginning. Not only because I was in the beginning, I was a bit, I've always been insecure about, not insecure, I've always been antisocial. You know, I didn't want to show my face. I didn't want to record. I didn't want people to kind of hear my voice and just see my face. So I always wanted to be behind the scenes while making money. So then that's how I discovered YouTube automation. So outside of that, you can start when you're 40 as long as you're willing to pick up with let's say energy and consistency a 20-something-year-old would have, then you're good to go.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're giving us
Then
hope
you're
up
good-
front.
You're good to go, yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's get to the masterclass. How does a 20-year-old come to this information and to this level of success?
I mean, if you're asking how I started this and how I figured it out, essentially, I was, like I'm mentioning, I was always antisocial, right? So when I was first looking into how to make money online, I ran into stuff like Forex. I think that's the first thing that people come to.
You've tried that?
You run into, yeah, I've tried it. I tried it for like, I think it was 2 months. I was losing money. And at the time, I didn't even have money. So I'd always ask my mom to be like, Mom, can I please have about, 500? And so essentially, my mom used to give me like 20 rand. I don't know if you saw the interview, but my mom used to give me like 20 rand every Friday, to the point where she didn't have money to give me anymore, right? So whenever I had to ask money, I had to make sure that I'm not gonna ask for anything else for like 2 months, 3 months. So I'd ask her, just 500, I'll make it back, I promise. Forex works. She gave it to me. I put it into Forex. It first spiked up, that, I don't know, like there's this psychology.
It works at first.
Yeah, it works at first. You see that spike up, you make about 20 rand. You're like, oh, okay. So the thing about me is whenever I used to put in money, the moment it goes up, like plus 100 something, plus, I would just take it out immediately. But then that greed kicks in. You put all the money, you're like, okay, just that spike up, double it, and then gone. So I think in Forex so far, I've lost about 2K. Right now, it doesn't seem like much, but at the time, I didn't have money. So that was 2K of my entire 3 years, basically. So,
So
yeah,
when
I
you're
tried-
trying Forex, you're 19.
Yeah. No, when I tried Forex, I was about 17 to 18. That's when I tried Forex.
So that's the first gig you do. Were you still in school?
Yeah, I was still in school. That's another thing. Because now, the money that I'm supposed to be having to go to school, now I don't have it anymore. So it's a bit of a tough one there. But
Or
yeah,
you
I tried
charge
it
transport
around then.
money?
Huh?
You charge transport money?
No, that wasn't transport money. My
Oh,
mom would
okay.
always take me.
Allowances.
So, yeah. So if I ask my mom for like 20 rand, like I said, 20 rand to go to school to buy like food, maybe there's no food at home and then she just has to give me something to buy at school, then she would just give me that money. So if I used it on Forex, now I don't have money to go to like for food at school. So kind of have to ask the friends now. Yeah.
How did it change from Forex to YouTube?
That's when when I did more research, I found a video that was talking about how people are generating millions and thousands of dollars online through faceless content. So then I got intrigued, I saw this video, I did my own research, and then I found that people were basically generating faceless content and hiring people to edit the videos for them so that they can basically master the analytics, the engagement, the view tracking, and everything, and then just generate ad revenue every single month. So then from there, I started doing my own things. And at the time, I had like a passion for editing. I really loved editing. I had like a small laptop. It was
Okay.
it was a Connex laptop. So it was very, like, if I look back at it, it was very weak when it comes to editing, but I managed. So I had that laptop. I would just edit. And then when my mom got home, I took her laptop because her laptop was like bigger and faster. Took her laptop, started editing. So then I started editing my first few clips. I started seeing, I think at the time, what was trending at the time was interview clips. Andrew Tate, when Andrew Tate was coming up, Luke Baumer, all these big influencers, all these big content creators, these gurus, when they were coming up, I would clip their pages, their videos, post them on, like, I created a TikTok account and YouTube account. I'd post them there.
So you created two, YouTube and TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. Because I also learned that you can drive traffic from your TikTok, because at the time I didn't know you could earn money on TikTok. Drive traffic from your TikTok towards your YouTube page, and then you just bump the views there as well. Because if you're earning on YouTube, you want to make sure that you drive as much traffic from the platforms that you are monetizing on and drive them towards the platform that you are monetizing on, which is YouTube, and then you convert the views there. So essentially that's what I did. Created views. I created videos, uploaded, and then essentially I didn't get monetized. Some of my videos got like 20 views, 100 views, maybe 1K views, and I'll be like, oh, and then bump it again, 500 views. So then I just started, continuing to do more research, and then that's when I realized that in order to actually start making real money and actually start seeing success, you had to optimize for it. You had to automate it by hiring people to do it for you. And then that's when I started hiring people to do it for me.
How long did it take you from the time you started your YouTube channel to get like real views where you felt like, okay, this is now happening.
Mm-hmm.
This can be a business and making money?
I think that was 2 years ago. 2 to 3 years ago. That's when I actually realized that this is a legitimate business that people are running and it's making way more money than the average South African, right? All the people that I was seeing were from the US, from the UK, talking about YouTube automation and so on and so forth. So then when I looked at YouTube automation inside South Africa, I couldn't find anyone. And then I was like, okay, this is a very good market for me to get into inside South Africa. Is it possible for me to start it inside South Africa? Because that's also a big thing that a lot of South Africans, that stops a lot of South Africans for starting online businesses is, does this market or does this thing work inside my country? And then when they figure out that it doesn't, or when they just Google it and then they see no, then they just give up, right?
Like TikTok, because many will Google and
exactly,
see
and then it says no, and then they just give up.
It doesn't pay Africa.
Exactly, but then it does. Do you understand what I'm saying?
For you.
Exactly. Let's say for me, right? So when you do research, You really find a lot, and that's something that a lot of South Africans fail to do. They fail to do the minimum research required for you to get what you want. If you really want it enough, if you do the research, you're going to find it, right? And that's what I did. You are able to make money from Snapchat in South Africa. You're able to make money from TikTok in South Africa. You're able to make money from Instagram, from YouTube. What else? You're also able to make money from Twitter in South Africa. There's so many platforms that you're able to make money from, and you don't even have to show your face. That's the crazy part. So when I heard that, I was, and I had this drive, because this was when I first started this whole thing. It was back in when Andrew Tate was coming up. So every morning you would just hear him, "Get up, you must get rich, you must." So I would always have that hype, like I would always be hyped, and I'd be like, "Okay,
I must get rich.
Let me get, I must get rich now. I must get rich." And then of course I'd also be motivated by seeing my mother. I don't know if you also, like you said, you saw the podcast. So waking up, and then my mom would always come to me and tell me like her issues, like
Dead.
Dead. I'm getting these calls from these people. They're sending lawyers my way. I can't pay this. I can't pay that. We might have to stop buying this. We might have to stop buying that. I don't have money to do this. So that as well would always motivate me every single morning to be like, okay, after I'm done with school, I'm just gonna work on my stuff. So during matric is when I actually learned how to balance the hard work that comes with matric, and also running my own, business,
YouTube business
on the side. Yeah. So that's when I started learning.
Did
how
you
to
pass
edit and
your
stuff like
matric?
that. Yeah, I did. Now, I can say I have a matric certificate. I have passed my matric. So yeah, I learned how to be. So now I have that what is it? That pressure to know that if I was able to manage focusing on school and running this business at matric, why not now, right? So right now I'm in university, and a lot of people, when I was first applying to get into, essentially I didn't want to go to university. I will say it now, I'm only here because I want to make my parents proud. I don't personally like the idea of being where I am now with how much money I've made, or at least the skills that I've developed, and still have to go to university. I don't see the value in what I'm getting. You understand?
But you're still there now.
I'm still there, yeah.
What
I'm
are you
still
studying?
I'm studying software development.
That's in your lane.
Exactly my point. So because I had no choice, because I really wanted to make them proud and go to university, right? Because I promised them that I'm going to take a gap year and focus on my business, and then I'm going to study. Once I'm done studying, I don't want to hear anything from them. So I'm going to focus on my work now. So yeah, I'm studying software development now. And
How hard is it for you to listen to your lecturers when you know you probably make more than them?
I mean, I don't think of it that way.
That doesn't play in your head?
It doesn't play in my head, because I understand from their perspective. They're just doing, it's their job to teach me what they know, right? Even if they haven't fully implemented it themselves, right? A software development professor can teach you about, no, this is how you create a website, whatever, but then he's never created a website in his life. And that plays in my mind to say, okay, I hear what you're teaching me, but essentially I'm doing this now, and this is making me money. But most people here that are teaching us these things haven't done those things that they're teaching us themselves. So it does play in my mind here and there, but then I always remind myself that I'm not better than any one of them. Everybody makes money in their own way. Everybody's skilled in their own way. So it doesn't mean that simply because I'm making more money than my teachers, my professors, and so on, that it makes me slightly better than them in any way.
Talk to me about the community of friends that you have around you. There must be some that saw you spring up and just blow up and make this money, but they know what you're doing, but they're not doing it. How did those conversations go with people that you know they could just easily copy what you're doing, but they're not?
I mean, it does get challenging when you know the potential that they could possibly have, knowing that you are their friend and you could easily just put them on game, essentially. It is stressful. No, it is. I will say this. It is. I have a friend. I'm not gonna say his name, but I do have a friend.
Please don't.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say his name. I do have a friend, and essentially, I always call him. And that's the thing about my friends. Nah? I don't really have a large group of friends. I've always been very, like I said, I've been antisocial. I don't go party. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do all of these normal teenage things. I've always just been by myself. So I like it that way. Me and my family. That's just how I like it. It's more peaceful as well. So. So the friends I do have around, I always, if I see that this person really has so much potential and he knows I make money, I always tell him, this is how I make my money. This is how I make my money. And then he just doesn't implement these things. He just doesn't listen to what I'm saying. He just takes it and then it goes out the other ear. It does get stressful, but when you realize, it gets to a point where you just realize that unfortunately you can't change someone's, you can't make someone act on something unless they want to act on it, right? You can try to change their mindset to say, bro, this is essentially how things are done, right? But if they don't have that drive inside of them to say, okay, this is my friend, I see the opportunity. If they can't take it, then unfortunately you can't do much there. So
Are there some though
I had
that
to learn to accept that.
Are there some that took it up?
No, none of them.
None of your friends that do what you do. They ignore the 10K a month.
They all do their own things. I have friends in the Forex industry. Right now, I have friends, my old friends, essentially, my day ones. Most of them are in the Forex industry. And then that's the difference between your group of friends, the people you surround yourself with. The friends that I grew up with, they're the ones that are not implementing anything I'm telling them. The new friends that I'm developing now while I'm being an entrepreneur, they are implementing everything I'm telling them. It's an exchange of value. So you tell me, oh, you do dropshipping. How do you do dropshipping? We exchange skills. So you tell me, okay, this is how you run ads. This is how you push out your product. This is how you do this. Oh, you into meme coins. Oh no, this is how you do that. Oh, now I also do YouTube automation, bro. I basically outsource the work to this. I do this, I do that, and then we exchange skills and then we implement them immediately because we understand that urgency is key. If you don't implement something now, it might not work in the next 2 weeks.
Did you say urgency is key?
Yeah, it is.
21 years.
Yeah, it is. Hey, you see, that's another problem I've been dealing with. When I turned 21, I gave
talk
a speech.
to people who are 40.
Yeah, I do. I
don't speak like you.
I gave on my 21st birthday. I gave a speech to my mom. So every single birthday we come around as a family. Whoever's birthday it is, we just give speeches, and then at the end they give a speech. So on my speech, I was like, for the longest time, I've always had this sense of urgency that I need to make it now because my mom is struggling so much, and I need to take her out of that poverty, out of that struggle. So that's always been in my head 24/7. I need to make it. I need to help dad. I need to help mom. I need to do that. And then when I turned 20, I was like, and then with that comes that feeling of you're not doing enough. You're not succeeding. So even while you're making 20 something, 1,000, 50 something thousand, 100 something thousand, you still feel like I'm not doing much. I'm not succeeding, and you want more. So then when I turned 21, I remember something my dad told me, and essentially he was telling me that you're 21. This is when you're supposed to be feeling like, you need urgency. Back then when you were 19, 18, that urgency wasn't supposed to be there. So now is when the journey starts. Now is when you're supposed to take your time and learn the skills, learn to read, learn to develop these skills that are going to help you later on as you grow older, So then I had to calm down to be like, okay, I'm 21. Let me relax. I've done so much now, and I just need to take it one step at a time. So yeah.
You have, man.
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah,
all right. So if we look at what you're doing, there's a number of things that you said. You said you can make money on TikTok, on Instagram, on Snapchat and stuff. Give a high level answer of how. Because I know many people that are on TikTok, they have a huge following. They're not making a cent from it. Yeah. Many people will be on Instagram. They've got decent following, but monetizing is always hard. Name a platform and give the one thing they're missing.
Okay.
Start with TikTok.
Okay. Essentially, TikTok, one thing that a lot of South Africans fail to understand is that, the Creator Awards program, that's where you get monetized on TikTok. Essentially, logically, technically is not available inside Africa. Not Africa, South Africa, let me say, because it's parts of Africa where it is available.
I didn't know that. I thought it was all of Africa.
No, there is. So there's a lot of ways to bypass the whole TikTok monetization process. We can get into that later. But essentially, once you unlock that, there is a few criterias and rules that you kind of have to follow, which is very downing. For my Faceless content, essentially, is the quality of your video needs to be, of course, you need to be over 1 minute. And then the quality of your videos needs to be up to par. So even if you're editing from a small phone and your videos aren't really that good, you don't have the quality, you don't have the skill, your video doesn't get monetized. The topics you talk about, if you're talking about politics, religion that doesn't get monetized. So these small
Oh,
things
is
can
it?
these small things can keep you from making real money, and unfortunately that's the real topics that actually would make a lot of money, because that's the topics that have a lot of attention. If you're talking about religion, people love hearing about that. If you're talking about politics, people love politics. So they small things like that keep you from getting monetized essentially. But if you're talking about bypassing things, I think I spoke about this in my last interview, where you can download VPNs specifically for TikTok. You download VPNs
That change your location.
Yeah, change your location. Make sure that you have, if you don't have a friend in the US, if you don't have somebody from the US, whether you can get them on Fiverr or whatever. If you don't already have that, there's ways you can use your Gmail. Create a new Gmail with
That
the
region.
VPN turned on, so that it doesn't track your IP address, it doesn't track your current location that you're in South Africa and all of that, and then just bypass the full thing. Bypassing TikTok is very simple. The main problem comes when it's time to create the content, and that's where we go back to my friend who I actively showed him this is how you do it, and I did it for him, and then today that account still hasn't posted a single video. Do you understand? So you can. I learned very early that you can give people an opportunity, but if they really don't see it as an opportunity, if they don't have that urgency, they're really not gonna do much with it. You understand?
What was the hack in terms of content creation? You're saying create content that's gonna work. What does that look like?
No. If you're talking about TikTok, like I'm mentioning, you need to make sure that you abide by the community guidelines, which are very strict on TikTok.
Yeah.
So if you can do that, essentially, then you're good to go. I mean, if I clip up this podcast, I could make money from this podcast depending on the views that I get, depending on the views and the length of the video and the quality of the video. There's certain criteria on how you can make money. But if we're talking stuff like Instagram is very easy. Instagram doesn't have a lot of strict community guidelines. So there, even if you're talking about religion, you don't talk about harsh topics, but if you're talking about religion, if you're talking about politics, there you can essentially make a lot of money, and you can also make money. I don't know if you notice this. There is an option right now on Instagram. It's called gifts. They can also gift you on TikTok as well. Yeah, so that option is still there. But on Instagram is essentially called Instagram bonuses. That's where you make money through your views. On TikTok, it's called the Creator Rewards Program. On Facebook, we can make money. It's not a bypass thing. You just need to make sure that you get the 10,000 followers and everything else. And then YouTube is 1,000 subscribers. It is 4,000 watch hours, or it is 10 million shorts views. So between those two, and then so on and so forth. But
how big is your YouTube?
My personal YouTube. I haven't posted a single video on my personal YouTube. I've posted like shorts.
No, the one that you grew, the one that made you this money.
It has 500,000 subscribers.
You've been running it for how long?
Since 2020.
That's
since 2020.
5-6 years to get to 500,000.
Yeah. And that was the first channel that made me $1 million a year. And then after that, that's when I started diversing into other things as well. You understand? Other faceless content like clipping.
So it got to 500,000 without you showing your face?
No. There I was showing my face. I mean, it's a podcast, right?
Oh, okay.
So there I was showing. I was clipping my own, reacting to videos and stuff like that. And then when I saw that, I was like, why can't I create an AI doing the same thing that I'm doing? So that's when I did that. I created the same channel, just different AI characters reacting to the same video. I created that, and then essentially I grew up that channel to like 200K something subscribers. Made money from that as well.
How long did it take to get to 200?
It took me like, I think it was 6 months, 6 to 5 months.
200,000.
Yeah. 6 to 5 months. Then I was like that. Even my own personal channel. I don't know if you know the story. My own personal podcast channel where I was showing my face and reacting to Christian videos. It took me, of course, those 5 years, but the rapid pace in which I got those subscribers in a single year. I call that year my glory year, because every morning I would wake up. 5K new subscribers, 10K new subscribers, 15 new subscribers in a week. I don't know if there's this thing on vidIQ. It shows you results.
You're on, leave it here.
Yeah, like it shows you those results. Like you would get results every week of your new accomplishment. Congratulations on 15K subscribers. I would get that every single week. So it grew on a rapid pace. So the same way that grew on a rapid pace, the AI channel as well grew the same way.
What were you doing? What do you know that people haven't figured out? Because that,
I think it's just
I
drive
think
and
if it was
desire.
just one channel,
Yeah.
I could be saying maybe you got lucky somewhere along the line, but you've done it so many
Multiple
times,
times,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
luck anymore.
Yeah, of course.
It's skill and strategy. So what's the heck?
Essentially, I honestly feel like it's drive and desire. If you want something bad enough and you have something that drives you towards that goal that you want, I feel like you will make it. There's no hack that I can say. If you do this, then you will get those subscribers. If you do that, then you will get those subscribers.
Okay.
Is the bare minimum that everybody talks about: consistency, drive, desire. You need to want this thing, and if you want it for bad enough, you will always do research to make sure that it works.
All right, let me ask, because I can't be specific. At
Yeah.
least I get some of the YouTube stuff. How often do you post?
On which channel?
YouTube.
Yeah, which channel? I mean, are you talking about
Oh,
my Faceless channels or my
It's
personal
the one
channels?
that's made the most.
If we're talking short, I would post 2 to 3 times a week. If we're posting long, if we're talking long form, I would post like once or twice a week.
So it's not even
No, it's
just
not like
heavy.
it's not like a rapid thing. No, it's not. You can, and then I can today I can decide I want to post like 10 shorts a day, and I know that this is going to basically replicate or double the amount of money that I'm currently making. But I know that it's going to be for a short period of time. You don't want to over bombard your audience with a lot of content, because then they get used to your content, then they don't want to watch your content. So and then YouTube can shadow ban your content, that this channel is mass producing content that is low quality, and the audience is basically getting tired of the same video every single day. Do you understand? I would rather have, and here's another thing that a lot of people don't understand on YouTube, right? If you can post, let's say between me and you,
Yeah.
I can post three shorts. Let's say I have 500,000 subscribers. I can post 3 shorts and get 100K on all of them. You can post 10 shorts. The 100K that I got, now the 100K that you were supposed to get on your 3 videos, if you posted 3 videos, now because you posted 10, they get cut off now. So now you get 1K, you get 5K on all 10 of your videos, right? As opposed to having to post 3 videos and get a lot more views, which which converts to a higher RPM and getting more revenue. Because now you decided to post 10
Batch
10 batch videos. Now you're no longer getting as much money. You understand? You're not getting as much views. So that really hurts a lot of channels, and that's something that they don't understand. That if you want to mass produce content and post content, make sure that your subscriber count, or at least the quality of your videos, is well enough to get the same amount of views that you were getting when you were posting a small batch of videos. You understand? Across all your platforms, then you're
Because
making
if your
more
quality
money.
drops, they shut upon you.
Exactly.
All right, what have you learned about how to package a YouTube video, like titles, thumbnails, the works?
What do you mean by
Making a video that people will click and watch.
Okay. So now we get into the technical stuff, right?
Yeah.
So essentially, if we're talking about hooks and retention and stuff, there's 4 keys that you need to master when it comes to YouTube. Number 1 is your CTR, right? Number
Click-through
2,
rate.
yes. Number 2 is your retention, right? Number 3 is your duration, like what is it?
How
Your
long
session
they watch.
duration, how long viewers watch your videos for. And then lastly is your, what is it? Your hooks and your titles and stuff, right? Now your SEOs. Essentially, you want to make sure that you capture viewers within the first 30 seconds of your videos, right? Mr. Beast does this a lot, right? He mastered this. You want to make sure that you capture viewers' attention within the first 30 seconds of your videos. Whether that means you're posting a podcast, make sure that you capture the best sections of your podcast to put in the beginning. Whether that is a controversial take, whether that is a clickbait moment, whether that means if I decide to take off my shirt and walk out now and then come back, you can use that as a clip in the beginning. You understand? Especially if I'm a high figure, right? You can use that to hook viewers. Now, after you've hooked your viewers, you want to make sure that you keep your viewers watching. YouTube is a business, right? And as a business, it has one goal. Your goal is to make sure that you keep viewers on YouTube for as long as possible. That means even after they're done watching your video, they can go to your next video, right? That contributes towards YouTube's goal, and YouTube rewards you with views, engagement, higher CTR, higher RPM, higher CPM, right? Which essentially is what you want, more revenue. So once you do that, you essentially learn how to master the whole thing. After hook, now you focus on keeping viewers watching on YouTube for long enough, right? After that, now you need to convert or at least take your viewers somewhere else after your whole video. That's where we go to the CTA. After thanks for watching my video. If you wanna watch something else, whatever, if you enjoyed this, click this video. If you click that video or comment this and I'll take you there. You
so
understand?
you're saying I need to do that on every video because I don't do that.
You can do that on every video. You need to make sure that you have a CTA at the end of your video, at the end of your podcast. Guys, if you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you click on this. This is where you'll find this. You also need to make sure that you make it sound interesting, right? So that also plays a huge part. And then after the whole video is done, right? Now comes your title, your descriptions, and your thumbnails. Now you need to make sure that your thumbnail is very engaging because your thumbnail is essentially your first impression. Before somebody even watches your videos, that's the first thing they see. So you need to make sure your thumbnail and your title play hand in hand together. Your title, let's say your thumbnail is about being trapped in a car for 30 hours, right? You need to make sure that your title corresponds with your thumbnail. After someone is dancing your thumbnail and they see, oh, this looks interesting, they read the title, trapped in a car for 30 days without water, without whatever. Click on your video, you hook them. After you hook them, the retention, right? So they keep watching your video. If you throw in subtle hooks here and there within your retention to keep them watching, CTA, they go to your next video, you have a viral video. And a great idea as well. Great ideas plus high demand, algorithm breakthrough.
You make it sound so simple.
It is simple. Once you understand this thing, like bro, it's so fun. Like once you understand how this thing works, it's like it's a game. You just need to make sure that you have the proper editing skill or you are able to outsource the proper editing skill to get that idea done. Do you understand? That's where the automation comes in now when it comes to YouTube. That, okay, now I have this great idea. I have this. Now you need to make sure that you search, right? A lot of people always make sure that they post videos, but it's not in demand. People don't want this, especially for faceless content. You need to make sure that the video that you want to create is in demand. The niche that you're in is in demand, right? A niche is essentially like a topic, whether it's soccer, football, cricket, whatever. That's a niche, right? So you need to make sure that the niche that you're in is validated and it's in demand. People are actively searching for this.
How do you go about checking that part?
Essentially, there's tools and extensions that you can use. vidIQ is a good one. Next Lev is a good one. It shows you. If you go to YouTube, essentially once you install these extensions on your Chrome,
I've got vidIQ.
Yeah. Once you install these extensions on your Chrome, you actively go to YouTube. You search for a topic, NBA, right? That's one I like to use a lot because it's actually in high demand, but the competition is also high. So you actually go there, you search NBA on YouTube search bar. After you do that, it shows you on the right. Okay, people, the competition along with the demand for it. Okay, there's like a green bar to like red, and then there's like a yellow in the middle to show like it's mid. Same thing with the competition, same bar. So you're able to see that, okay, that's one way of searching the demand of do people watch this, do people want this? And another thing about niches, finding whether it's the demand and the competition is high or low, you can also go to Google Trends, right? I don't know if we've ever used Google Trends.
I haven't used Google Trends.
Essentially, Google Trends searches real data from actual per year, right? If you go to Google Trends today and you search the term Christmas, you will see that it's a graph. You will see that for a specific time period, dates, there's like a spike up. That's when okay, from November, September to December, that it's high. From January to whatever, it's low. Nobody's searching for it. From there to there, it's high. So same thing. You search NBA, you see, okay, there's a graph. From this date to this date, there's always a spike. Why? Now you start searching.
Jeez, man,
okay.
before you even create the content,
you make sure that the idea that you have is a great idea and people want this, right? You search, okay, I see that there's always a spike on this specific date. Why is there a spike on that specific date? Oh no, on the NBA, this is a season called this, whatever, right? This is the day somebody passed away. That's why people are searching for it. This is the day somebody got this. That's why people are searching for it. Okay, cool. Now good. Now I know when I post, I make sure that I post a lot of content on those specific days. I can post 2 to 3 times a week. Cool. And then on that day, I make sure that I post about 4 to 5 times, 6 times, because that's when people want it the most. Do you understand? That's when you now that's ways you can validate a niche. That's ways you can get into how to find a niche and how to make sure that the demand is there. You understand?
One thing I've been taught about making sure your channel gets more money is make content that people in the US and Europe can watch.
Of course.
And my channel, my focus has
Yeah.
been Africa, like from the
Yeah.
get-go. Someone came and told me that's a mistake. If you're doing it for passion, yes. What have you learned? How does one switch the content so that it's global friendly?
Okay. Essentially, for podcasts, it's kind of crazy. My views on the US and Africa have changed, mainly because Africa is becoming more mainstream now. A lot of entrepreneurs are coming this side, you know. It's now becoming the US, basically, this side, right? Like, if I don't know if you've noticed, like, we have our own Andrew Tates now. We have our own Luke Baumas and stuff inside South Africa. So it's really getting on the map. It's really being put on the map. And soon enough, everything that the people in the US do will also be able to do. Soon enough, the creator rewards program will be in South Africa, right? It will be in Africa. And all the opportunities that they have. What they told you was right. Essentially, when you start creating content, you want to make sure that you attract a US audience, a UK audience, if your goal is higher revenue and higher CPM, if you're trying to make more money. Essentially, if you're just going into it for the drive and the love of the game, you can just do it in Africa. That you know, with your South Africans, that's good, and then you can get brands and stuff like that inside South Africa. But it plays a very important role in, especially if you're running a podcast, that who are you really for? Are you trying to tell Americans about South Africa? Because if that's the case, then I don't think a lot of South Americans want to know about South Africa. What's going on here? To be honest with you, right?
True.
So if you're targeting a South African audience, you need to be comfortable enough knowing that, okay, this is my primary audience. This is how I can get monetized from them. I know I'm going to have a lower CPM. I know I'm going to have a lower RPM. So how can I make more money? What is it?
So you're basically saying
Affiliates.
I didn't make a mistake to look at Africa.
No. There's many potentials that you can use, but I'm just saying, if your primary goal was to make higher revenue, then yeah, you would have targeted a US audience. But I mean, your whole podcast is about showing South African entrepreneurs
African
entrepreneurs. Yeah, so I think you're good. There's many ways you can make money through YouTube inside South Africa, which is like brands, sponsorships, affiliate marketing, the usual, you know, digital products, merchandise. What's this other one? Collaborations, and this is one that I'm missing. Memberships, that as well. So there's ways like that. But if your main goal is just ad revenue, just high ad revenue, you really need to target a US audience. And how you do that is by making sure that the content you post is primarily liked by a US audience. And I don't ever encourage my students to ever run ads to try to attract the US audience, because you want to make sure that everything is organic. Your views are organic, your subscribers are organic, your engagement is organic. You want to make sure that your content is good enough to be seen by a US audience, right? That's the first key. The second key is make sure that, the way you clip your content, they should not be anything that tells, you know, a US audience that you are from South Africa or you are whatever. You want to avoid that by any means. So you want to make sure that there's many ways to go about this, but you want to make sure that the things that I just told you now, you really implement them properly, so that once you attract a US audience, it really pays you back significantly in terms of ad revenue. It really does. Okay. Because another thing is, remember now, what is it? The RPM, right? Mm-hmm. Not RPM, CPM. How much YouTube pays, how much advertisers pay YouTube per ad revenue, and then RPM is how much
per category,
YouTube pays you, right? So now, there's more ads in America than there is in South Africa, which is why their CPM and RPM are often higher than ours are, right? And they're always willing to pay more for to YouTube, you know, to host ads on people's videos, mainly because people in the US are the US audience and the US creators are way bigger than most creators across the world. Do you understand? So advertisers are always willing to pay more for that as well. In South Africa, we have way less advertisers. We have way less creators, you know. Our creators aren't as big as them, you know. So you want to make sure that you play your part as a creator to make sure that you really make sure you target a US audience than I would really avoid
Okay.
South African audience. Yeah.
All right, I get you.
Yeah.
I think the one thing I don't want you to leave without explaining is
Okay.
this YouTube automation, because you keep saying YouTube automation,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
someone will wonder, what is it? How does it work?
YouTube automation is essentially running faceless content by outsourcing the work to freelancers to basically edit the videos, the scripts, the thumbnails for you, and then send it back to you. And then all you do is post, track the analytics, track the views, track the revenue, and then optimize to see, okay, why didn't my video perform well? Why did my video perform well? Take it back to the editors, let them know, okay, cool. I want you to change the CTA. I want you to change the thumbnails. I want you to change the title next time, because clearly it didn't perform well, because I see on my analytics that this is the reason that with the first 30 seconds people didn't watch, they immediately clicked off. So we need to improve the intro, we need to improve the hook, we need to improve the retention. Somewhere here they clicked off the video, we need to improve that as well. That's how essentially YouTube automation works. It's basically running faceless content.
Okay, how does someone who has a business make YouTube work for the business? Or is that something that can happen?
What do you mean by
They own a business, an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Generally, bakery, any business that you can think of. Can they use YouTube to support their business
Of course.
in any way?
Of course, there's so many ways that a business can, well, at least faceless content can promote your business, right? It's essentially what I was talking about: digital products, affiliate marketing, and stuff like that. I have so many faceless content, right? I can essentially make sure that I promote your podcast or whatever on my content. So you tell me, okay, cool, whatever creator, they're faceless. Listen, here's your email. Us, the podcast, we want you to run ads for us. We want you to promote us 30 seconds, 60 seconds in your video or in the CTA. And or we can even do a sponsorships. And then in every single one of my shorts, one of my long form videos, I make sure that I always include you guys there. Guys, if you wanna watch wada, make sure you head over to this podcast. If you guys wanna do wada, make sure you head over to this podcast. And the best, I don't know if you've seen this, there's so many businesses actually that work with faceless content, especially animation creators. There's always I don't know if you've seen these shorts. There's shorts from animators, and in every single one of these shorts, they would include like a game at the end. So this animation would be playing this block game or something like that. That's the business telling them that, listen, in one of these shorts, the next short you should include our game, wada. No, those people, they go to the game. Essentially, if you're targeting like a younger audience, they are more primarily to download the game because their favorite animator is using it.
Yeah.
Go to the game, download the game. Now your business is basically becoming successful because of this one faceless channel that has millions of subscribers promoting it through their videos. So there's many ways that you can use faceless content to promote your business.
So it could directly promote the business itself, or they could create a faceless channel that does other things but still promotes the business.
Yeah, it can, yeah.
Okay.
And I've also used faceless content to promote my other faceless content. So essentially, I've used faceless channels to promote my other faceless channels. So I think I told the story before that I ran a Roblox. This was back when Roblox ran channels were popping up. Essentially, it's like Roblox Shorts. I don't know if you've seen them, where they like clip a Roblox gameplay and then they put like a voiceover and text on it to be like, this is why school is boring. Yeah. And then I would create a scenario behind it. So I created 2 Roblox channels, a girl and a boy. And one was called Jake Rants, the other was called Bella, right? So essentially, I made it that these 2 know each other. They go to the same school, but they're totally different people. So now this guy was saying, I went to, like, you create a whole scenario, a script around it. I went to school today and this girl Bella bullied me for saying I don't have any subscribers and what. Now this is a new channel, 0 subscribers.
Yeah.
I don't have any subscribers and she said that I'm not gonna make. Now people, right? Remember, now you're attracting a younger audience. People now look at that and be like, oh, let's show her that we're gonna support you. They start. Subscribers just start coming in, right? Now essentially, now you have subscribers. Now people are asking, who's this Bella? Let's go see her. Nah? Now you create a second account to drive the traffic to that one. Okay, now here's you tag Bella then in the title, or you add as a collaborator, whatever. Now you take that audience that went there, they go to Bella. Now remember, it's a girl and a boy, so now it's like war between girls and boys now. So the
They're
girls,
fighting on the
whatever, they
side,
go in the
fighting on
side.
the side.
Exactly. Now
And
the
no
girls
one
see
has an
Bella.
idea that this is all
This
you.
is one person. You understand? So now the girls this side, they see, oh, Bella is this cute girl, and Bella is saying that no, Jake is the one who started it, and what. Now they start subscribing to her. So now it's a beef between these two people, when in reality it's just
Are
one
you
person.
scared of revealing this now because people are gonna
No,
know?
they don't know who the channels are, and I don't even run that channel anymore. So it's done. I sold it. I think I sold it. Yeah, I sold the Jake one.
Oh, you
Yeah.
build YouTube channels that
And
you've
then
sold.
Yeah. Essentially, I don't like having like I said, when YouTube shadow bans you, or maybe you just don't wanna, the workload is too much. There is a point where you can own too many channels, and you don't want that, you know. So and there is trending niches that die. So for example, let's say my channel is monetized because I was working on a trending niche. A trending niche is a niche that is just working for now, and then once the trend is over, it's done. So it no longer gets views.
Okay.
So once that is done, let's say I'm monetized or whatever, I don't want to work on this channel anymore. I have like 50, 20 channels. I now sell that channel to you. You can decide if you want to change the niche or you want to keep going. But now the channel is monetized, and you essentially just change the content and go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know how you answer this one because you're so young.
Okay.
There's always seeds along the journey that get sown that prepare us for what we're doing now. Like you are in this season. If you look at your life in your background, what were those seeds? Like what were the stuff you were learning and experiencing that prepared you for this type of life?
I mean, essentially,
This would be easy if you're 40.
Yeah. No. You know what's the thing about me, né? I always believe that even the youngest people can be wise. That I honestly believe that, right? I don't think it's about age. I think it's about experience. You know,
Yeah.
I've often noticed that there's younger people who would be way more wise than older people. You know, so yeah,
True,
but
look,
yeah, it is true.
You have the evidence.
yeah. So there has been multiple scenarios in my life where it has propelled me or changed me to be the person I am today. Many setbacks, many difficulties that I've dealt with. One of them, I don't think I've ever spoken about this on a podcast before, because it recently happened. Essentially, there was a time period in my life where I woke up and all my channels were gone. I just woke up and YouTube basically terminated all my accounts, and that was that was essentially my revenue. You know, that was my income. So I didn't have any other income back then. So you can imagine you are like a 20-year-old, 19-year-old making this much money, more than your teachers. You're telling people like, yo, this is how much money I make, and so on and so forth. And then just out of the blue, you wake up and all your channels are gone. So it does put that pressure on you now to be like, oh, now I no longer have money. Now I no longer have money to have my mom. I made everybody so comfortable. I made everybody depend on me that, okay, we're not gonna, we can spend this money. We'll ask BK. BK has money, you know. Let me go buy that purse. Understand? So you made everybody so comfortable, and now it's just everything is gone. So now how everybody has to readjust. You know, how are you gonna get back to that? And then that time period was the time period where I felt like I don't know what is happening. I don't know if
You were new to the struggle.
yeah, I was new to this. I was new to this now of having to be that high and now just crashing down again, right? So it had to it basically humbled me in a way to be like, I had to realize that God can give you something and He can take it back anytime He wants. You understand? If God, you cannot use God's blessing to fill your ego and your pride to think that you're better than other people. That's when I realized that after I lost those channels, I realized that I used to be very cocky. I used to, feel like I'm better than my old friends. I used to feel like whatever. So then I had to realize, okay, listen, as much as God gave you all of this and you're making all of this to help your mom, make sure that next time when He gives it all back, you are humble. You know that you're not better than that person just because you're making more money. You're not better than the next person just because you know more. You are equal. And that's when I started understanding that and working on my character, working that instead of going to people saying, how much money do you make? I make this, I make that. You understand that this person is a person and you need to know who the person is, not how much they make. It's all about character. So it really shaped me and fostered that humble character to say, God can take it back anytime. Do not be cocky. Do not think you're better than anyone. So that was one of the things. And then what's crazy is I linked that back to when, I don't know if you know the story of Job. when God took everything from him. Of course, like I told you, I own a Christian podcast. So the story when when Job was this, this noble
lost it all.
man, this noble man who didn't do anything wrong, who was kind, he was honest, and then out of nowhere he just lost everything. He didn't know what was going on. His friends came to him and said, no, you definitely did something wrong, and he didn't do anything. So he was always bashing God, like, why did you take everything from me? I always worship you, I always pray to you. What did I do this time? And then God just showed him, like, listen, don't question me. I know what I'm doing, and essentially I'm way bigger than you, so you need to humble yourself. And once he humbled himself and he actually accepted that, okay, I am nothing compared to what God is capable of and what he's given me, God gave him back everything times 2. You understand? And that's essentially what happened to me. I lost everything, I humbled myself, and God basically gave me everything times 2. So now I own more channels than I did before and make way more money than I did before. So yeah. And I'm humble as well.
Doesn't it scare you though to go that public with what YouTube pays you sometimes?
Yeah, it did. And that's why now I no longer say how much money I make. I specifically speak about figures, because I realize a lot of the entrepreneur friends I have now, they mainly use it as leverage. When other entrepreneurs figure out the amount of figures you make, it also creates opportunities for networking. How do you make this much money? Let's exchange skills, right? But another thing is, you don't want to say exactly how much you make, because it can also invite trouble, and that's something that I had to
kidnappers and stuff.
I understand exactly. So that's something that I also had to understand, because I was also not only putting myself in danger, I'm also putting the people that I'm living with in danger as well. So the people around me, So I had to understand it and learn as I go on.
What does the next season of your life look like?
I'm just trying
to you going to 30. What's like the vision there?
Honestly, in my 20s, I'm trying to go all in. I'm trying to learn as much as possible. I'm trying to get as much AI tools, build as much skills as possible, read as much as possible. I'm just trying to optimize myself to be the best version of myself. I'm trying to, get a nice physique. I've gained weight over the time.
The money does that.
Yeah. So I'm trying to just optimize myself to be overall the best version I know I can be in my 20s, so that whenever I'm in my 30s, hopefully I've built enough systems, I've built enough revenue to be comfortable in knowing that my family is also comfortable and we are okay. We don't have to, be over the top and have all these mansions, but just knowing that there's recurring revenue coming in every single month. I've built systems, I've built passive income and all of this to generate me money while we're just chilling. I think I'll be good.
Do you have financial advisors or people just coaching you on how to manage the money? Because it's a lot that you're making.
Mm-hmm. My mom.
Oh, mom, you are the financial advisor.
My mom is the one who's actively telling me, no, don't buy that. So I'm a teenager, so obviously I always have that shiny, syndrome, shiny object syndrome. Whenever I see something, I'm like, I want to buy this, I want to buy that, I want to buy it. And then my mom would just be like, Abongana, just leave it alone. And then I'll just, okay, it's fine. And then just continue with my life. But yeah, she's the one who actively just tells me, listen, don't buy this. Buy something you need, not something you want. Buy something that's an asset that's going to help you. And then that's what I actively did. Essentially, I had a list of all my debit orders that I had. I had so many AI tools, so many subscriptions that I did not need, because this was back before my mom was, the financial manager. But now I bumped it down because I realized, okay, I don't need this. Everything was just a want. So now I bumped it down to everything that I need, everything that's contributing towards my business. Stuff like Notion, stuff like Claude AI Pro, stuff like YouTube Premium, stuff that actively help me in my journey and improve my business. Essentially, nothing that I want. I barely buy things that I want anymore.
I like that you drilled it down to what you need to grow the business, especially since a lot of it is on YouTube. Yeah. What are the AI tools that would fit? If I said your top 5, what would those be?
Claude AI.
For content.
For script writing, for finding niches to work on, for analyzing, for posting and scheduling, for SEO and descriptions as well, because it can also do that. There's Claude Co-work and Claude Code. They actively work on your computer while you just sit back. So
you pay at that level?
Yeah, I pay max now. I used to pay pro, but the pro version you would lose your what is it, your limit quicker. You would reach your limit quicker. So now I use Pro Max, and it's about $100 every single month. So and then of course, yeah, Claude.
So you're not paying the 17.
No,
You're
no,
on
no,
100.
no, yeah, I'm going 100. It's worth it.
You're upgrading
It's
us
worth
here.
it.
I'm on
Yeah.
the lower.
It's definitely worth it because you can also code websites, which is something that I'm actively starting now, where it's website design. Also leading back to what I'm studying.
Yeah.
So yeah, actively designing websites for businesses now.
So
Me
that's
and my
Claude
team.
number one. Number
Claude,
two.
Notion.
What do you
That's
use it
like-
for?
I basically use it to just generate my lessons for my program. So when I want to generate like a PDF, when I want to generate scripts as well, it also has scripts as well. You can also generate like scripts. It also has an AI. It can also use Opus 4.7 as well. So the same thing that Claude uses, it can also use. So when my limit is finished there, I can also use it here. Notion. My third one would be, what would my third one be?
So ChatGPT doesn't fit in there.
No, I don't use that anymore. I don't use that anymore. I used
Dude,
to,
your reaction.
I don't. No, I really don't see the need in it anymore. Like when you start starting up, it's there. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice, affordable place to go. But yeah, no,
Such
I don't
judgment.
I don't use it anymore. What is the third one? I think the third one would be. I just niche it down to like we're talking AI tools.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then I can't name because these ones are websites. But let's say
If it's a
Get
platform that helps, you can name it. It's okay.
Okay, I use what is this thing called again? Vista Social. That's where I post on across all my Faceless content, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. You basically just upload one video and it posts it across all your platforms. So you just
Vista.
optimize the title. Yeah, Vista Social.
So it's a social media
Yeah. It
manager.
yeah, essentially.
Does it give you all the analytics
Yeah,
and stuff?
it gives you like a report, so you're able to track how your videos are performing, how your channel is performing in this week compared to the last week. It gives you like a full-on report where you can actively analyze. Okay, this video went this way, this video went that way. You can also reply to comments. You can batch post at once. You can take all your videos and say, listen, I want you to upload all of these things for the whole month, which is essentially what I used to do. I would just take all my videos, my posts, and then just type in, listen, I want you to take all of these, create individual captions for every single one of them, and then just schedule them for the rest of the week, and I don't have to do anything, right? So that's why.
It goes that far.
Yeah, it goes that far. You obviously don't just use it
How
alone.
much is it?
You use it with Claude as well. It is, I was paying 1.6 for it. So I'm currently, 1.6.
Per month.
Yeah. It does that.
Okay.
And then, so that's the third one. The fourth one I would use is, what would I use? What else do I use actively?
Is there anything for editing or you don't?
Lovable.
Oh, Lovable.
Lovable is very good when it comes to website designs as well. So I use that as well actively. And then when it comes to editing, I think for base editing, a lot of creators will tell you to go get all these Premiere Pro, DaVinci. I use CapCut. My editors use CapCut. And I can tell you now, if I'm able to generate the amount of money that I make now, revenue, compared to big creators that use DaVinci and Premiere Pro and all of that, then I think I'm good, honestly. So yeah, most of my editors, but not all of them, majority of my editors also use Premiere Pro and stuff like that. So which is why I outsource the work, to begin with. But yeah, those I think are the 5 tools that you can use.
Do
to
you
optimize
pay
your work.
CapCut?
No. I personally don't pay CapCut because the edits that I do are simple edits. They pay CapCut, my editors.
Do you know what plan they're on?
No, I have no idea. I just tell them, listen, this is the video that I want. I want it like this. Make sure you get it like that. I don't care what you use. Just make sure my video is like that. And then they just do the rest of the work. I don't micromanage a lot. I don't micromanage.
Whew.
Yeah.
Last question. What have you learned about how to build a podcast?
Oh, how to build a podcast.
That's the last thing. You can close us off
How
with.
to build a podcast. Okay. I don't think I've been asked that one. How to build a podcast. I don't even know what to say. I mean, get a mic, Essentially, when I started my podcast, I had a phone.
Don't look at the tactical
Okay.
stuff.
What must I look at?
How to make it work. Like
How to make a podcast
a
work.
podcast that is influential, that gets
Okay.
followers, that gets engagement.
Okay.
That
okay,
aspect.
Okay, I understand. Prioritize clipping. A lot of people's retention span is really cooked, and they don't watch long form content for a long time anymore. So that really messes with your average view duration, in your session duration. So I would really prioritize shorts. Clip up your podcast as many times as possible. Get clippers to clip up your podcast. Create separate TikTok accounts, mainly TikTok. Post all your clips there. Direct them towards, if they comment, direct every single comment towards your long form content so that they can watch the full video because they got interested from that single clip that they watched. I feel like that's the best way to grow your podcast. Clipping
and going to TikTok. TikTok was the main one that you used to move traffic.
To drive traffic, because there,
why did you create multiple
clipping,
TikTok accounts?
Huh?
Why did you create multiple accounts on
mainly
TikTok?
Mainly because you wanna get a different audience, right? You don't want to drive the same traffic every single time. If you comment, I want to watch this on one of my TikTok accounts, it's going to take you towards the TikTok account. But then if you're going to come again, you're going to see the same account and you're going to say, no, but I already watched this interview. I already watched this thing. So now if you see a different one that you don't link back to the first one, you're going to comment there, and then it's a totally different episode now on my podcast. Do you understand? So it's like it targets different people. This account might target people from the US. This account might target people from India. This account might target people from...
That's how you set them
whatever.
up.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that every account targets different people, not just the same group of people. And then
it's
that's how
21.
Yeah. It's crazy.
If you're in your 30s, 40s, please tell me how you feel listening to this 21.
But I want to know from you. How did you grow your podcast? Because I'm also trying to start now, getting back into my podcasting.
It's a lot of what you've been saying, really, but it's interesting because some of the stuff you're saying, I know that it probably would work, but I'm not implementing it yet. Like saying at the end, if you're interested in this, follow this video, we made this. I know that's what I've been advised to do, but I haven't done it, or telling people up front or at the end that like, share. I don't do that. The best lesson I got around this was, if you are going to win with podcasting, make videos that people want to watch, not videos that you want to make.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us get tied to what we want to make. What I didn't know is how far you went with a lesson like that. For me, I look at the comments to see what people are engaging with a lot more, because it tells you that this is the interest and this is what people know you for, and they like you for this. And then it affects how you position each other video. The next one that I would add is, you said it as well, link the title and the thumbnail to, they need to work together. And then make sure, what I always do is the title needs to correspond to something that someone says in the intro, the first 30 seconds. So if we put a title about how to make money, in the 30 seconds intro, somewhere someone has to say something along those things. But the rest of it, though, is who the guests are and what value they give. If people are watching and they know that you care about their transformation over time, you kind of build that loyalty and engagement. I had a really great video that had a lot of hate, man. I loved the interview so much. I was talking to Dr. Pili Selekani, like a hero. And when he was sitting here, I couldn't help but laugh every time he's talking. I don't even know why, but I just got caught in that bug. You're sitting with your hero, man, and you're just laughing unnecessarily. So I'm not saying I was right. I was wrong.
Okay.
But man, the level of hate that came there, I was like, guys, I'm doing this for free for you.
Yeah. Were they hating on you or him?
Me? No, it's
laughing.
like the guest is amazing, but when
you are laughing too much.
you're laughing too much.
Yeah.
So what that was showing me, though, is one, you can pay attention to the comments because they do educate you. They do tell you what to improve on and stuff. And that's another thing I do. I always respond to the comments. I look at the engagement. So it's a number of things. I think I'm going to throw a masterclass. I'm waiting to get to 100K and throw a masterclass on podcasting.
I see you close as well, so that's the podcast is motion. The podcast is motion, So
it's a number of things. It's a number of things.
I think that you're right about the comments. That's a very good way to also drive traffic as well. To see what your audience likes and whatnot. That's also another way that I would also use for the CTA. You know, you add the comments there. My girlfriend does the comments as well. So when I post my videos, she would actively, I would tell her I just got done posting, do the comments. She'd go to the comments. I have a template where I post, if you love this video, check out this one. If whatever, subscribe, whatever. So she would actively just do that every single time. So
Or she's
that's
the
a good
one who does that.
Because when people, if people take their time to want to comment on your video, they will definitely take their time to want to subscribe after they just see that message. If they really like the video and they want more content like that. So
That's
that's
a
good way to
nice
do it.
hack. I'll add that too.
Yeah, in every single video.
Okay.
Even in your long form at the bottom there, if you like this video, check out this one. Next episode.
So
Go
I
CTA.
had stopped using shorts completely.
You should start. It really amplifies your growth. You will get to 100K quicker than you would just posting long format content. Get clippers and you are there.
Let's call you on your bluff. We'll see how fast we get to the 100.
Yeah.
We are not far from the big milestone. So I guess, should I say like, share?
Yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe.
Maybe you say it. It sounds better if you
Yeah.
say it.
Okay, so guys, listen. Make sure you like, subscribe. Make sure you turn on that bell notification so that you're notified every single time he uploads. And then make sure you watch this video to check out the next episode that comes after this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
See you in the next episode. Thank you for it us till this time. I'll link up a video. I guess now it has to be.
It has to be there. Yeah.